John Warner here from Bush Church Aid. I'm here with Tim Blagg, the youth leader from Trinity Church in the city in Adelaide, and they're up here at Roxby, Tim, Roxby Downs Christian Community Church. So what brings you up here?
We're really delighted to come up here with a team of us to partner with Roxby Downs Christian Community Church to spend some time with Glen, the pastor up here, and Beth, his wife, and the kids in running as much as we can, doing as much as we can up here to partner with them in the mission they're doing here in Roxby Downs.
Great. And so what have you actually been running this week?
Yeah, so we've joined in on church. We've helped them run church on the Sunday. On Monday we came in and we were a shot in the arm to them as they ran their It's Music Time program. Big outreach one on the public holiday, which was really encouraging. Lots of new families coming in and joining in, and a bunch of our teen helpers and some of our leaders joining in with Shaking Shakers. And then the last 3 days we've been running Epic Explorers, a Christianity Explored kids holiday program, inviting kids from church and non-church backgrounds to come in to hear about who Jesus is, to join in an epic life of exploring who he is. Yeah.
And how's that been going? Any kids been coming? And what have been some highlights?
Yeah, we've had kids. That's been super encouraging. We started the week with about 15, and then we've gotten up. Today we got 20 here on the last day, which is kind of encouraging. We've had kids asking questions about who Jesus is. Yesterday, after our third session, we had a couple of kids asking, so is Jesus for real? Like, is he real? And asking these big questions about what it means to follow him. Kids saying that their parents don't really like church, but they'll come along because their kids are going to invite them this week. It's been super encouraging, and it's been great to see our own team from Adelaide and Trinity Church Modbury as well stepping up and taking the lead and trying out things that they wouldn't necessarily get the chance to do at home. It's been great.
No, that's great. And camping in a tent, how's that been going for you?
It's been intense. It's been great. We've really loved it. It's been a bit of a challenge for the boys, but we can bond in the morning about how cold it gets overnight. We can eat some bacon cooked up in the camp kitchen. It's been pretty relaxed, actually. It's been good. Yeah.
And been mentioning how God's really used this mission trip to grow a number of the youth and the young adults. Any highlights there?
Yeah, again, as I said before, it's been fantastic seeing them stepping up and taking those opportunities. We've had some of our youth running the morning devotionals every morning this week with a team. We've had youth doing most of the talking. We've had youth doing songs and leading through the actions. We've got youth running activities and discussion groups inside. That's been very encouraging, and it's been great to see just how well they've loved and cared for these kids here, and just seeing those things clicking and going, hey, this isn't that scary. I could do this. It's been amazing.
And as we think about how mission trips like this can be helpful for raising up leaders for tomorrow, as you head back to the city and that, any thoughts and reflections there?
It's been a great opportunity, I think, again, to expose them to this. So coming out to church, some of the kids, when we had some reflection time, were just saying, people are really excited that we're at church. They're really excited to see teenagers at church. I think they were really encouraged by that. And some of them, some of our team have been thinking about whether they could come and live in the country. They've been thinking about how they can care for country kids, like some of the teenagers here, and invite them down to camps, invite them down to come to our youth group when they're in town. It's been really encouraging to see that. And prayerfully we'll see men and women growing up who want to serve Jesus with all their lives, whether it's in a big city or whether it's in the country.
That's great, thanks mate. And as you think into next year as well, future mission trips, what are you thinking?
Love to keep doing this every year, keep building the partnership, again, to keep encouraging Roxby Downs and for them to encourage us and what we're doing to see Jesus going forth here. But I'd love to see more of them. There's so many places that Bush Church Aid has around the country, South Australia, Northern Territory. Probably can't be on the road every week. We should probably be at home every now and again, but it'd be great to see more and more churches doing this.
Yeah, great, Tim. Thanks, mate. Well, it is fantastic, and on behalf of Bush Church Aid and the folk of Roxby, it's just fantastic to have you guys up here. And just speaking to some of the locals up here, and certainly Glen and Beth, they're just so super encouraged to have you guys up here. So, thanks again.
Pleasure.
John Warner here from Bush Church Aid, and I am here with Paul Cooper from Trinity Church Modbury, and we're up here at Roxby Downs Christian Community Church. Paul, welcome. What brings you up here to Roxby?
Thanks, John. Well, there's a team of us. We've been up here about a week, and we've been running an Epic Explorers kids program, and it's been great. We've had heaps of local kids come in, a whole bunch of them who've never heard the name of Jesus before, so it's been great, really encouraging, and we're just coming into our last day.
Fantastic. What's been one or two highlights?
I reckon a couple of the kids who've said that, they don't have much talk about Jesus in their home, and here they've spent 3 days and all they've heard about is the gospel, and I just think that's been fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. Now, you were sharing with me as well that just how you've seen God really grow some of the youth and young adults who have actually come up here on mission.
Yeah, that's been awesome as well. So we've got a bunch of youth that have come up from Trinity Church Adelaide and Trinity Church Modbury, and yeah, they've just really stepped up. There's been a bit of a high bar really in a bunch of the things that we've asked them to do, because they're leading the program. We're not doing that much really, they're just coordinating. The kids are running it, and they've really done a great job, and there's been gifts that have sort of come out of people that I think that they didn't even expect. So it's been wonderful to see that.
No, that's great. And what about just personally? Just how's God growing you personally?
Oh, I think just seeing the way the gospel works in people's lives, you know, seeing these kids this morning on the 3rd day, and they remember from day one. The question was asked, so what do we remember from day one about Jesus? And one of the little kids said, Jesus has power and authority. You know, it's stuck with him. So what a wonderful message. That's
great, mate. And I guess thinking bigger picture with partnerships, city, rural community churches like this, just any words of encouragement?
Well, look, we've done this as the first time out, and it'd be great to see this sort of thing happening regular. I mean, an annual thing up to some of the different regional areas of South Australia, Northern Territory. I reckon that'd be awesome, and great for the city churches that are coming up, but great for the local communities as well.
That's great. All right, Paul, thanks, mate. And on behalf of BCA as well, it's just awesome being in partnership with you guys up here, making Jesus known to the people of Roxby.
No worries, thank you.
John Warner here with Bush Church Aid, and I'm up here with Roxby Downs with Indy. Now, Indy, tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from.
Hi, so I'm from Adelaide, from Trinity Church in the city.
Fantastic. And what brings you up here to Roxby Downs Christian Community Church?
Yeah, I decided to come up here this week to help out with the holiday program, and we're running some youth events this week and helping out with church here in Roxby. So I've come along as one of the leaders, one of the adults on this trip. I decided to come along because I thought it'd be a really encouraging time for myself, but I'd also really like to get along the youth and help them, encourage them in running the kids program and enabling them to see what life is like out in the country and get to know themselves a bit better and how the gifts that they have and how they can be serving in church.
Yeah, that's great. I guess what have been one or two highlights so far for the week for you personally?
Yeah, it's been really great for me to see how the youth have actually been working this week. A lot of them have discovered some things about themselves they didn't really know, like they can actually do more than they realise. They can run kids talks in church, and they can run kids events, do kids ministry, and really they have more of an ability to do those things than they realise. But it's also been really encouraging for me to see this community up here. It really is a tight-knit community. Everyone is so generous, and they've been really encouraged by our presence, and we've been really encouraged by their generosity and kindness to us this week. We've had meals provided for us every single day. We've had people giving up their houses so that we can have accommodation to stay in, giving up their cars so that we can use, and inviting us over for dinner during the week. So it's been really encouraging to see how they've really got alongside us and helped us to work with them this week.
Yeah, look, certainly having chatted with a number of the locals up here, they're just so excited and pumped to have the team up here and to see what God's doing through you guys. Now, rumour is the boys are camping, that they're sleeping under canvas, and where are the girls?
Yeah, so we've actually got a house this week. A family from the church here have offered up their house. They were originally supposed to be away for this week, and so we're going to lend us their house, but they actually didn't end up going away, but still wanted to give us their house. So they've moved in with some friends for the week, and we've been able to stay there, which is really lovely of them. So we've had a chance to meet them and get to know them, which has been really nice. And we really appreciate their generosity in doing that for us this week.
That's great. And I guess any encouragement to just some of the children that God's brought along to the program this week? Highlights? Yeah,
it's been really amazing meeting all the kids in the holiday program this week. Quite a lot of them haven't been to church before, don't really know Jesus or what Christianity is about. We heard a story of some kids who live across the road, and Roxby Church here were doing church outside for a few weeks because of COVID restrictions and stuff, and it was just easier to meet outside. And so the kids across the road would often ask their parents every Sunday, oh, what are they doing over there? Why are they all meeting every week? And their parents were like, oh, we don't really know what goes on, so we're going to send you along to the holiday program, and they'll teach you about what they believe and what goes on in a church.
Yeah.
So that was really encouraging that they came along, and they've been here every day for the 3 days, and they actually really want to bring their parents along to church on Sunday. So that will be really great. Hopefully, to see them come along and get involved in the church will be really great.
Yeah. Now that is fantastic to hear. Now. End of Matthew 9, Jesus looks out, sees a great harvest of souls that need saving, not just in the cities, but actually in the country as well, in towns like Roxby. Just more personally, you're training to be a teacher, and how's God, I guess, been, moving your heart and mind to think and pray about different things?
Yeah, so prior to this, I'm studying to be a high school maths and science teacher at the moment. I've got a year left to go of that. Prior to this week, I was pretty convinced I was going to stay in the city and just get a job there and maybe move in a few years, but just stay familiar for now. But after this week, I'm actually really keen to move up to Roxby. There's a local public school here that is really in need of teachers at the moment. And so I'm really keen to try and move up here in the next year and actually get a job here, and that will be really great. I can connect in with the church here again. I already have some connections here now. I know some people, and I think that will be really a great opportunity for me to be able to further the gospel and really encourage people here, work in the church, maybe get alongside youth ministry. The youth is quite small at the moment. They've only got kind of 2 or 3 youth within their church, but they really want to start up a youth ministry. And so if I was able to move here as a teacher, then that would be something that I could really get involved in and help try and build up in Roxby.
Yeah, that's great. And so I guess to any other students studying at uni who are thinking about an adventure and where they could perhaps invest 2, 3 or more years, I guess what I'm hearing you say is it's really worthwhile considering and praying about coming and being part of a community like this in a smaller regional or rural community.
Yeah, definitely. I've had a really great time this week, and I think most communities are really tight-knit, and people need to hear the gospel everywhere. And churches like this are really small, but they still need people to help them reach the rest of their town. So they're always in need of more people. So.
That's fantastic. And you're up here on the week, Trinity Church City and Trinity Church Modbury partnering together to bring a mission team up for the week. I guess any words of encouragement to church leaders or youth leaders that are thinking about, should we or shouldn't we have a go at some sort of a mission trip like this? What would you have to say?
I'd say it's great. It's been really encouraging for us as the adults on this trip, for the youth that have come along to this trip, for the church here in Roxby. They've loved having us here. From the moment we got here, they've been really welcoming and really excited to see all of us. I'd say have a go, do it, try it. It's a lot more encouraging than you realise. Build a team, get alongside each other, and head out to a country town and just work with their church for a week and see what life is like for them, and just really encourage them and help them in that.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I got told that I had to ask you about the bus.
It's a pretty nice bus. Coops thinks that driving this bus is life-changing. I probably wouldn't say that, but it's a pretty nice bus to drive. It is. It took us about 7 hours to drive here, so it's a pretty long way, and so it was much better that we had a nice bus to drive that was quite comfortable.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I guess lastly, Indy, any shout outs?
Thanks to the church for encouraging us and sending us. Thanks to family that have given me this opportunity, and friends and supports that have really encouraged me in getting alongside this and supporting me to be able to come and do this trip. So.
And of course, Mum and Dad.
Yeah.
Can't forget your Mum and Dad. Yeah. Hey, and it's really been awesome just seeing how God's using you and the whole team up here actually, and certainly just hearing really just a snippet of just how God's growing you during the week. So thanks so much for your time.
All good. Thanks for supporting us.
Yeah, John Warner here from Bush Church Aid, and I'm up here at Roxby Downs with Zach McDonald. And Zach, you live up here?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Excellent. And what do your mum and dad do up here?
Well, Dad's the minister at the church here. Then Mum is a stay-home mum. Started the doctor's surgery recently.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, and how many years you guys been up here
now? This is our 3rd year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And tell us a bit about how was that for you?
Well, honestly, I prefer to live back in New South Wales. I haven't had the greatest time, just socially. But other than that, it's quite a nice town.
Yeah.
You know, really good experience I've had. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess tell us a bit more about I guess that hardness. Is it like is it people living here long enough to make friends and?
Oh, part of that is, but another thing is so many people move.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, like coming to a new school. I'm a teenager, so you know, everyone's already got their friend groups.
Yeah.
But yeah, just problems with people. So.
Yeah.
But it's been good.
Okay, mate. Look, it's certainly been good getting to know you this year, and even have you come and stay at our place down in Adelaide.
That was really good.
Yeah, you've managed to connect with a couple of Trinity churches and started making friends down in Adelaide. How's that been for you?
So, like all my life, I've lived in country towns. You know, small country churches where I was the oldest kid. So. Having some, like even here, there's only one other youth member in the church. So having those relationships with those like people my age who I can connect with on a friendship level is really helpful for my mental health, and it's really good to know there's other people out there.
Yeah,
you know, that I don't see, that I can see more than once a year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you came down to a Christian camp, I think, earlier in the year.
Yeah, I went to Summit Youth Camp 2021 with the Southern Churches.
Yeah.
So I made quite a few friends down in the, I think it's Brighton, and kind of like garden churches in Trinity.
Yep.
And then up here at the moment, I've actually got a mission team from Trinity, Modbury and City. So there, I've got some good friends here now. So got friends all over the place.
See, that's great to hear, Zach. I guess that creates a bit of a challenge for you, is when you go to Adelaide, who are you going to visit? Where do you go?
I think people want me to go to Modbury at the moment, because that's where most of the people are from. But, you know, I might just go to night churches.
Yeah, that's great.
That always works.
Hey, just talking a little bit about, you do have the mission team here from Trinity City and Modbury for the week. You're out camping with them and, and part of the team. And so
I'm an honorary Trinity youth member.
Okay. What's it been like having the team up here for the week?
It's been really encouraging. You know, highlight of the holidays by far.
Yeah.
So got some connections, you know, keeping in touch with people.
It's good. Well, hey, mate, just finally, you got any shout-outs for some friends back in Adelaide?
Not really. I mean, I could say hi to Jack. Go to like gardens, you know, a couple mates there.
Yeah.
Then there's the blokes from Modbury and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good on you, Zach. Thanks for your time, mate. It's been encouraging chatting with you.
Have a good one.
Mate. Bye. G'day, John Warner here with Bush Church Aid, and I'm up here at Roxby Downs with Glen and Beth McDonald. And guys, it's great to be up here, and you've got a mission team inside with a bunch of kids. So tell us all about that and how it's going.
We've got the group from Trinity in Adelaide visiting a load of youth kids with a few leaders. Yep.
It's great. And Beth, you were sharing about your music program that you run, and just tell us a bit about that. How that go?
Yeah, so we had earlier this week we had about 15 families come, stack of preschool kids, and ran a music program, and we had probably 10 new families come that haven't been involved in church before.
That's fantastic. And Glenn, what about yourself, mate? It's great to be speaking with you again. How's the week going from your point of view?
The week's been great. The team have been wonderful. They've engaged the kids, and one of the great encouragements is seeing kids who have the first time connected with our church, who are now able to verbalise that Jesus died for their sins, which has been a great encouragement.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And what have, I guess you've been sitting on the sidelines a bit. What sort of things have you seen with the team that's come up to help?
The team have been amazing. They've been engaging the kids in fun ways with craft, with activities, and they've been doing a wonderful skit just telling the story of Jesus, and it's really helped the kids to just really be passionate and enjoy who Jesus is and what Jesus has done for them.
No, that's great. And yeah, I guess how's it got you thinking and praying and scheming as we think about next year?
One of the challenges for us is how to now take this further. One of the things I'm praying and dreaming about is how we can now have a weekly kids program of some kind, which is then engaging these kids who have been introduced to Jesus for the first time and continue to grow them in that and continue to connect with the families of these kids, which has been a wonderful opportunity for us to do.
Yeah, and any thoughts on how you'd like to make that happen? What the BCA family can be praying for, or perhaps who are we praying for?
Well, one thing to be praying for is people who from our church who can catch onto that vision and to be partners with us in that and own it for themselves, that as a church we can do this, not just us with BCA or as the minister, but us as a church can grow this ministry for God's glory.
No, that's great. Yeah, chatting with you yesterday, you mentioned the possibility of a new role that you'd love to see created and someone raised up for.
One of the things that would be a wonderful thing to be praying for, which is a dream of mine, would be to have another person partnering with us in ministry here who can focus on children and youth. Our town is made up with a quarter of the population being children, and it's a great opportunity for us to try to connect with them and introduce them to Jesus. If there's someone who could dedicate their time to driving that ministry, that would be a wonderful thing. And that would go nicely with, there's an opportunity for a pastoral care worker at the local school, which would go hand in hand with that role.
Yeah, that's great. And Beth or Glen, just stepping back, you guys got such a heart for the region. You want to be here longer term. You've got children now becoming teenagers. In fact, you already have teenagers. That brings with it its own beautiful challenges around life, but also education and just how to keep them going and growing strong in Jesus. What are some of the ways, I guess, where you've started to see some partnership and support there, but also just looking forward as well?
Yeah, so we've been really encouraged that Trinity has taken our eldest, Zach, under their wing and has invited him to some youth events. He has been incredibly encouraged by this week and just spending time with other Christian teenagers, which he doesn't get the opportunity to do regularly. And so just continuing to partner with them and encouraging some of the other youth in the church. Though the numbers are few, we're hoping that they can join in with that sort of program too.
Yeah, and he's the first of how many teenagers coming after him?
Oh, so we have 5 children, so we will have teenagers for the next 15 years or so.
So whoever is watching and listening in, let them understand. Wonderful opportunities. That's great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Hey, look, just how can we be praying for you guys as we head towards the end of this year and into next year?
Yeah, I think some ways that you can pray is just that we can raise up willing gospel workers in our congregation. I think also for our family personally, just that we can manage education up here. Just as our kids get older and the educational opportunities are less, that we can find ways to engage our kids in that zone.
Another challenge that we have here in Roxby Downs is people are always leaving, which is a great joy to be able to send people off to wherever they go with the gospel. But it does leave us short-handed at times in some of the ministry roles that need to be filled. So just pray that as we say goodbye to people, which happens every year, that we would rejoice in those opportunities, but look for how we can encourage other people to take on some of those roles that they've been filling.
Yeah, well, thanks Glen and Beth. And can I just say, again, second visit for the year up here to Roxby, just what an amazing gift you and your family are to the people up here at Roxby, and just how encouraged the folk at Roxby Downs Community Church are with your ministry, and certainly the way you love and care and serve them in the gospel of Jesus. So keep it up.
Thank you.